Welcome to Thoughts That Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Lee. Every day, we talk about these thoughts that really, really change our lives. So I want to ask you this question. What takes you out of love? Love is supposed to be our natural state. Love is all there is. So what takes you out of love? It's real simple. It's judgment. The second you judge, you are not accepting. The second you judge, you're not embracing that everyone has two sides. The second you judge, you cannot be in love. There is no such thing as conditional love. It doesn't exist. There's only love. And either you're loving or you're not loving. So the analogy that came to me today was about love is that if you picture a train and there's an engine on one train and it's ready to go one direction, and there's an engine on the other end of the train ready to go in the other direction. And label one engine love and label the other engine judgment. Which engine are you feeding? Every time you accept and you love, you move in the direction of love. Every time you judge, you move in the other direction. Perceptions can be very judging. No question about it, Deb. No question about it. Because our perceptions are not accepting the allness of a situation, but wanting it to be a particular way. And when it's not a particular way, the perception that we have is filled with an emotion, and it's normally a negative emotion, not a positive emotion. And when I talk about a positive emotion, I'm talking about an elevated emotion, the elevated emotion of love, of acceptance, of gratitude, of caring, of kindness, of joy, of peace. And not an elevated emotion. A lower emotion is of judgment, not enough, greed, depression, jealousy, lust, greed. Those are lower level emotions. Those lower level emotions are all about judgment. No question about it. If you really think about the lower level emotions, they're about judgment. The higher level emotions are, you don't see the lower level stuff. You're only focused on the growth. You're focused on love. You're focused on life. You're focused on expansion. Do I know anybody who's always loving? Not met that person yet. The reason I don't think I've met that person is because we're human. And in the humanness, we have our senses, we have our egos, and our senses have priorities, our egos have desires and wants, and we have contrast, and we go back and forth between the contrast. And when we go back and forth between the contrast, guess what? We move in and out of love. It's natural for us to move in and out of love. I would say probably the easiest way to be in a state of love is to be in a state of gratitude. And that's not gratitude for one thing and not another. It's gratitude for everything. The other way to be in fact, I think the state of gratitude is actually the state of love. And the state of love is actually the state of complete gratitude. I don't know. I don't think there's a better way of saying that. Do you? I really don't think so. And then you've got this idea of, how can I be in a state of love more often? Well, I think meditation's a great way, because meditation's about detaching from the body's desires and detaching from the ego's desires and being in a place of stillness, a place of connection, a place of oneness. And so a lot of people say, I can't meditate. I can't quiet my mind. Then I ask the question, how often are you in a state of love? Is not being in a state of love worth the effort to become a meditator? To me, it is. Ever since I discovered meditation, it's been a part of my daily practice. I think I discovered it in 1995 when I started with transcendental meditation. And since then, I've explored many, many, many types of meditation here in the United States, in India, Tibet, Nepal, even in the jungles of Peru. And then I've listened to all the great teachers talk about it. And I've not heard that there's really one right way to meditate. I think there are many different ways, and you find the one that's right for you. I know in my morning meditations, I keep evolving them, and I love where they are because it's where I'm at. I accept that that's where I'm at. I accept that. And I don't compare my meditation practice to anyone else. Here's another thing. If you've got a partner, don't compare your partner to anyone else. That's judgment. And what is comparison? The death of joy. Think about that. Just to let you know, Saturday I am doing a couples workshop, 4 days, 4 different Saturdays, the best I've got on couples. You walk away with a framework. If you're interested in being a part of it, it's only going to be a few couples that are going to be involved in it. 1 o'clock Central Time. So I hit all of you, peace. All of the time zones. So if you want to sign up, agapespiritualcenter.com for the info and the register. I've heard of Tricycle. I want to say, Deborah, is that a Buddhist publication? I'm not sure. I don't read it on a regular basis. Let me just say that. I love that you're having a conversation with me today. That makes this so much more fun. So much more fun. Today is Agape Gathering Day. And if you want to join me for an Agape Gathering where we sit and talk on Zoom, just talk, have fun, agapespiritualcenter.com. Again, that's 1:30 Eastern Time and 7 p.m. Eastern. No, let me say that again. 1:30 Central Time and 7 Central Time. Give me a chuckle. I'll give you a chuckle. I don't know what that means. Judgment. Come back to where we started. It takes us out of love. You have kids, you're judging them. You have kids doing things you wish they wouldn't do, and you're judging them. Kids are going to do what they're going to do. Once they're out of the house, especially once they're 18, they're fully adults. You have to accept where they are and realize they're on a journey and they're going to make mistakes. It's part of the journey, and you can't do anything about it. And you hate that. So you judge yourself because you can't do anything about it. No, let go. You can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do. So accept it. That's a state of love. And be grateful they get the opportunity to experience life, because realize they're not just the body and the mind. They're the soul having a human experience. And the soul is infinite and never dies. They're not humans having a spiritual experience. You get that? They are spiritual beings having a human experience. So nothing bad can happen to the spiritual being. When you get that, it's a lot easier to love. That's the best I got this morning. So I say to you, become the greatest you by first accepting who you are and then becoming more of whatever it is you desire. And remember, the power's in you. Only you can do it. Now, we can support each other, but you have to do that. Yeah, Deborah, you got to accept the guy that still keeps communicating with you but wants no romantic relationship. The question I would ask you is, why are you settling? When I hear questions like that, it's always about, why are you settling? You're worthy of more. Don't settle. Never settle. Life's too short to settle. We're worthy of whatever we truly want. And you want a romantic relationship, girl? Let him go and get one, because you'll attract it. With that, have a great one. Know that I love you. Amen.